Okay, so this is the splash screen that people will see when they open the app. And along the bottom here, there'll be all the lawns that they can go to. I've just got two at the moment, just to illustrate the two different ways that I envisage interaction might occur. But we could have any number of lawns along the bottom. We can also have buttons that will allow certain options and preferences to be selected as well. Let's start by going to lawn one. Basically, the interaction here is that you've got your standard um, helicopter view of the lawn, and to move the balls, you click the ball that you want to move, that selects it in the interface, and then you click where you want to place it. So you select the ball and you place, you select the ball and you place. Now, what's quite nice about this interface is that although it's a bit clunky on a computer screen, it actually works quite well on the mobile because you can use your thumb to select the ball and either your thumb or finger from the other hand to place the ball. The other thing that you can do is move the lawn around, and you can zoom in and out as well. Uh, and that's something that people would want to do if they want to get the ball placement absolutely spot on. To score, the user clicks this button and then goes into scoring mode. And here it's just a matter of selecting the ball that you want to score and increasing it or decreasing it if you've made a mistake. The other thing that button there does is choose various options about showing the grid lines, resetting the view, providing some details about the game that's being played, and so on. Now you'll notice that in the corner here, there's this timer that's been ticking down. That is essentially a button which sends this information, the score and the position, to the server, and that is something that's accessible by the user in future, or in particular for the Mac Rob, to the commentators. So they would get an alert to say that there's been a score update, there's been an interesting position update, and that's then something that they can talk about because they can have access to this position and of course this score. Um, the button down here tells us that we're on lawn one, but it also acts as a way of toggling to the next lawn. So if we click on this button now, we go to lawn two, and here the interaction is slightly different. Now, if we want to score, we don't have to go through this menu here. In fact, this menu isn't actually operational in this view, so it's a lot simpler layout. And here, all you do to score is you click on the ball that you want, and you basically change the scores without having to go through the extra layer of going into scoring mode. And the way that you place the balls is simply by clicking on the lawn. And when you click on the lawn, a sort of selection menu comes up, which allows you to choose which ball it is that you're going to place. So again, quite a snappy way of placing the balls. And you'll notice that when I click the middle rectangle of the lawn, uh, this sort of shape comes up. It's quite easy to see where the crosshairs are and where the ball's going to be placed. If I click right up the top here, then I wouldn't be able to have that arrangement. I'd lose some of it off the screen. So the system looks to see where the click is and then repositions the balls accordingly so that they stay in good reach of the user. Now in this version, we don't have the ability to move the lawn around. Instead, what we do to zoom is we click on this button here, and that now gives us a zoom in view of that particular area. So good if you've got some work around the hoops that you want to. So if we really wanted to get fussy about what's happening around this hoop here, you can imagine that we would place the balls, like that, and then go out, and suddenly we've got this is the zoomed out view of that zoomed in view. I think the zoomed in view is a little bit harsh. Maybe it could be a slightly different zoom level. But yeah, that's basically it. And of course, as you toggle between the lawns, the position and the scores are obviously saved. So um, any eventually there'll be a button here that will allow us to go through all the lawns and back. And every time we do that, of course, we're not losing what we had on the previous lawn. So it's possible for somebody to keep tabs on several lawns at once. So that's where we're up to, and I think what I like about this view is the simplicity of the scoring, not having to go into a different scoring mode. I do quite like the ability just to click and place. Um, I'm wondering whether it's even necessary to do zooming because most of the time you don't really need to be that precise about where the balls are. I mean, in any book or coaching diagram, this level of detail is sort of enough. So, you know, I think that's, and it takes away the complication of having all the pinch zooming and the dragging and so on. It makes it a much simpler interaction. Okay, well, let me know what you think.